My name is James Rowlands. In 2015, I teamed up with my friend Dan White to create the WNR podcast. Since then, we have been giving you everything that's happened on the WWE Network. Now, in 2018, not only are we live for the Big Four events and every NXT takeover, but we celebrate 20 years since the birth of the Attitude Era. Plus, every month we'll bring you 205 Live, collections, new content, W pay-per-views and latest news on the WWE Network. Until we've watched everything, we are with you, and we are the WNR. Yes, hello, I am James Rowlands, and as always I'm joined by
Dan White.
And today it's the WNR154, the WWE versus WCW Night After Mania 1998. But before we do anything, let's go to the alternate intro. This is a story about an ordinary teddy bear. When he was made, they found something wrong with him and threw him away, like a piece of rubbish, into an old dark storeroom. Then, from outer space, a spotty man brought him to life with his cosmic dust. He took him to the magic cloud where Mother Nature gave him special powers. That bear became Super Ted. Yeah. Super Ted.
Well, he is Super Ted, but I'm excited.
Right, so that was the old intro. Dan, what is the intro?
In 1998, WWE and WCW were locked in a ratings war. Their shows, Raw and Nitro, went head-to-head on Mondays. The WNR podcast go back 20 years right in the middle of the battle. We've followed the war since the inception of Nitro, but now with the Attitude Era getting going and WCW at its peak, it's a perfect time to follow it month to month. This is WWE versus WCW, the Monday Night Wars.
Well, let's begin. We've got a 5-point system in place. We have got the roster,
rating,
promo,
matches,
the setting,
and an overall.
So we'll base it on the 5-point system and then tally it up and then see who wins this episode. So yes, let's start with the WWF. 24 hours after the incredibly successful WrestleMania, the Austin era truly begins.
For the first time, we are live watching Raw is War.
So we are going to watch the entire episode of the Night After WrestleMania and see how it compares to the one we've just had. March 30th, it's Raw 253, and let's start with the opening titles, I guess. So this is going to be fun. We've never done this and sat actually watching a Raw on the podcast. We hope everybody can follow it at home if it works out for us. And we're seeing the video for last night's wrestling. And Dan, what were your thoughts on WrestleMania 14?
I thought it was quite an exciting fanfare.
Yeah.
A few twists and turns and some switching around and some double twists. But yeah, it was quite an exciting event. We're just seeing highlight clips from it now. We see, the moment that made Sable, Kane.
Yeah, well, I mean, we saw the payoff, didn't we? Undertaker and Kane. What a hellacious war that was. And then we saw Tyson involved in Michael's kind of Herculean performance working through that kind of back injury. And a surprising end, really, with Mike Tyson cold clocking Shawn Michaels and Steve Austin being WWF champion. And now we get the Raw is War opening titles. I hope we have fireworks. It's always an exciting bit. I know we haven't got Raw girls, so to speak. Well, we have in Sable and Sunny. Of course, Sunny last night making a big splash with LOD, managing them, and they're number one contenders now. So is this going to be a fresh start? Let's see. Last week on Raw, we had DX being Tyson, Michaels, Triple H in China. Would that change tonight? We saw problems possibly with the Nation last night.
Well, we've certainly got some pyrotechnics.
Yes, we have. I mean, the place is going off here tonight. Raw is on the air. Fans seem to be happy. Thousands of signs. Well, I say thousands of signs. There are literally hundreds there. Picture of Bret Hart. That's quite a nice one. Loads of signs there. The fans seem happy. We are in Albany, New York here. And I think Austin 316 signs are the sign of the day, would be fair.
I would say that, yeah. 316, Austin, and, all of that nature.
So we got Jim Ross and Michael Cole on commentary as well. They're going to lead us through the first part of Raw. Chainsaw
Charlie and Cactus Jack are the new undisputed tag team champions.
Yep.
And out comes Vince McMahon carrying the title.
Well, we saw Steve Austin last night winning the Eagled WWF Championship that has been a custom for WWF, been around now for about 7 or 8 years. And Vince McMahon's got the new championship belt over his shoulder.
So, most definitely, it's going to be a new era.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this is going to be a presentation of the new champion, Vince McMahon.
That's a blue-coloured strap, isn't it?
Yeah, it's nice. It matches McMahon's suit. And, of course, after the incredibly successful WrestleMania last night, be able to buy a few more suits. It's crazy how it's changed, even in the past 3 months we've been watching the kind of build-up to WrestleMania. And now the payoff. The fans chanting Austin here.
Still got the old school WWF style logo.
Oh, yeah. You've got the scratch logo in the corner, but the turnbuckle's still got the old ones. Butt crack is signing the crowd behind Vince McMahon. The mic is working, Vince, just people aren't listening. Well, they're so loud, and he only wanted the microphone to introduce the new WWF champion, and quite a reaction he's getting there.
Indeed, yes.
And look how tiny that title belt looks over his shoulder.
It does look small.
Well, Austin in the ring.
Drops the old title at Vince's feet, pulls a new one off his shoulder, and goes to the corner to hold it aloft for the fans.
Stone Cold Steve Austin's championship belt. And the fans absolutely love him. And of course, he goes to all four corners. And JR already plugging the next pay-per-view, which is Unforgiven, April 26th. Vince is smirking.
No, James, he's just got a grin on his face. He hasn't got a cigarette in his gob.
Well, the fans think Vince is full of shit. Of course, a couple of weeks ago when he was asked by Kevin Kelly, he'd say, oh, hell no, he didn't want him as WWF champion. And now he's saying it'd be a pleasure. So Vince McMahon being nice there, say, look, together we can work. I'm intelligent. You're big and strong. Why don't we do this and make the business huge? So what did Austin have to say about that then?
He said, well, I don't like you. You don't like me. Let's just cut out the BS and just leave it as that.
Vince, like, he's incapable. I also said, you hate me. And he goes, I can't hate. I'm incapable of hating. I'm just looking for what's best for company. Best for business. Vince thinks Austin's a swell guy. Vince McMahon loves Steve Austin.
But he's backtracking now. It's just a figure of...
Vince McMahon's eyes are fucking brilliant. When he's like, what did you say?
Well, you know, the first inkling that Austin said he's going to bash his face in, the crowd absolutely lapped it up.
And now Austin laughing at Vince.
So Vince is saying you can do it the easy way or the hard way, and Austin's like, well, I can't give an important decision like that right now. I want a definition of what the easy and the hard way is. So Vince is saying the easy way, adapt to survive, and the hard way is you're going to be forced to do it anyway.
We'll see what Austin has to say. I mean, it's a hard choice to make, isn't it, you know?
It is indeed.
So he wants 10 seconds to think about it. That's fair enough.
He looks like he's deep in thought.
I wonder what the fans want him to do.
Well, I think the fans wanted Vince McMahon to get stunned. And what happened?
He got stunned. And the crowd love it.
I don't think anyone's had an impact like Austin since Daniel Bryan.
Well, this is
not as in doing things his way, but I mean just the crowd response. They lap up at everything he says.
But for me as well, it's a gradual build. Like, not everybody in that crowd is roaring at the top of their voice, but they would get behind him. It's like the slow build-up, isn't it? You know, we talk about different parts of the Steve Austin character, Stone Cold, WrestleMania 13, whatever it was. And now coming here and the fans saying, like, he said he was going to go WrestleMania. He said he was going to win the Rumble. He won the Rumble. He said he was going to go WrestleMania and beat Shawn Michaels. He did that. And now he's come out here, and it's a mission statement for characters. If you're going to treat any wrestler like this, he's come out here, his first night as champion. Vince McMahon has said to him, look, you can do this my way or the other way. and he said, look, I only do things my own way. I do not answer to anybody. The only person I answer to is myself. And we know that's him about now. And with that story with Vince McMahon and what Vince McMahon has said, we know that the story going forward is Austin being this kind of anti-authority figure champion, and McMahon trying to stop him at all stakes. It's a perfect thing to put there. Do you know what I mean? It couldn't have worked better in itself. Like, you can dream of them trying to book Roman Reigns or someone like that after WrestleMania, and you just can't. And that's why the fans got behind him, because what he said, he backed up. And in wrestling, that's really important, you know?
Indeed, yes. And it's well noted that Austin isn't the greatest worker in ring, but everything he does aside from that is perfect.
Yeah.
You know, he was Austin backstage. He was always watching what was going on in the ring. First one to arrive, the last one to leave. He was effectively, you know, aside from Undertaker, a locker room leader.
Yeah, and he worked hard to get where he was. But I think credit is due now to Vince McMahon, you know, to kind of have this character that fans despise. And now they've done it to death with the kind of authority figure in wrestling. But you just imagine, they've done it with Ronda Rousey recently, laying out Stephanie McMahon. But just, you know, Vince McMahon being able to get to stun a take to him, make him look weak, and having Austin look like the actual star rather than getting one over on him, you know?
Well, you had the last time of it happening with Vince McMahon getting beaten up by Kevin Owens, but I think that was just more portrayed as bullying an old man.
No, the thing close to it is, like I say, Daniel Bryan's moment at WrestleMania 30, finally overcome the authority figure. But we're not talking about WrestleMania 30, we're talking about WrestleMania 14. And at WrestleMania 14, the LOD reunited with Sonny, and now they're coming out here.
Indeed, and well, before WrestleMania, we thought that the LOD was going to be no more.
Well, we saw them fighting, didn't we? You know, we thought that was the end.
Indeed. But now they've reunited. They've got Sonny as their valet, so things are looking bright for the LOD 2000. They've got new face masks. They've got new shoulder pads.
And let's not forget the number one contenders for the WWF Tag Team titles. They're unveiled. They'll face, at this moment in time, Cactus and Chainsaw Charlie. What a war that will be. But they're in tag action now. And Sonny's coming out here, and she looks fine, but she has dropped down. I say dropped down the card a little bit in recent times. She's going against. They're going against Jose and Jesus from Los Barricos.
Jose and Jesus.
Jesus. Oh, and they've started already. That's Animal.
He's eliminated a member of Los Barricos from the ring.
Oh, Jesus. Jose taken down there, and Jesus on the outside.
Oh, they're looking for the Doomsday Device already.
Well, they don't get paid by the hour. Oh, fucking hell.
Turned him inside out.
1, 2, 3. Wow, dominant by Legion of Doom.
What a rush.
Yeah. Well, you can't really talk about the match there because it was nothing but maybe LOD showing that they're back to full strength, and Sonny now got the microphone. Oh, they lift her up.
She's got her legs akimbo.
Twisted Steel with sex appeal. That is the LOD and Sonny, or LOD 2000. We'll see how 1998 treats Sonny and the Legion of Doom. But we are a night after Mania, and we've already seen Steve Austin. I mean, what else have we got in store for tonight? Go on, give us a... They should do that now. Like, coming up. Keep me interested. I'm going to go over to Nitro in a minute. Say, what's the huge news?
Well, Vince McMahon, he's overheard him on the phone, and Vince McMahon has just left, and he heard him say on the phone, I don't care how many cops it takes, I want Stone Cold Steve Austin arrested now.
Oh, my God. And now we see a Legends video. People like Gorilla Monsoon, Classy, Freddie Blassie, Pat Patterson, Big Cat, Ernie Ladd. I think that's quite a nice advert. Today they cheer for the new generation. Not new generation. The WWF Attitude Era. Sorry. New generation was Diesel and Michaels. That's far away in the past now. Still a horrible stunner, isn't it?
Yes, I don't think Vince McMahon ever took a stunner well.
No, we see a replay of that, and we see the way Vince McMahon left as well. Where he fell off the stairs. It's not been a great night for the chairman. So Kevin Kelly with another update in the background. And this time he said...
Well, he just completely dismissed Kevin Kelly had to say, because Kevin Kelly tried to give him a heads up saying the police are on the way. He said, I don't care. They haven't got the balls.
Vince McMahon hasn't got the balls to get him arrested. So we'll see what happens if that plays out. But right now, it's a Jackal coming out with Kurgan. And this big monster. He's going to go one-on-one with, it looks like, Chains in the ring.
Chains indeed, yes.
Part of the DOA. Well, the action never stops here, does it? Another hard-hitting match.
Kurgan is my father.
Well, we talked about this on Top 15 Factions, about the Ministry, and the Jackal was maybe supposed to be a part of that. But, you know, it never really worked out for him. And it never really worked out for Kurgan. And I wonder why. Let's see him in action here. And let's see if we can work out maybe why it never really worked for him. He's a big man. He's got the size.
He is, yes. Just throwing Chains into the corner. The two guys lock up. Chains looking for a side headlock. But Kurgan powers out of him and just throws him at least 2 or 3 foot.
Well, useless fact about Chains, he's Brian Lee, and he played the fake Undertaker back in 1994, feuded with, of course, the real Undertaker. And now he's become the kind of de facto leader of the DOA because of Crush, who joined WCW. You know, Brian Adams, part of the NWO. Probably looked like a good idea at the time, but is the tide turning here? We don't know.
It's quite a low back body drop from Kurgan, despite his height.
And now he's choking Chains, and now we're getting split screen.
Split screen, and Vince McMahon's backstage with Sergeant S. Laughter and Gerald Briscoe.
Yeah, and he seems to be gesticulating that he's not happy that the police aren't here yet.
Chains trying to get a bit ahead of steam, trying to close on Kurgan, but Kurgan's not going down.
And he can't get a big man down that easy. Oh,
Kurgan catches Chains with one big right clothesline, and Kurgan goes down.
Well, Chains in a bit of trouble now because Kurgan's dreaded finishing move is the claw. We tried the Kurgan splash there. Chains managing to dodge out the way.
Deliver some big rights, but one big right from Kurgan rocks Chains, but he comes back with a big boot.
Well, he's getting no change out of... Oh, Kurgan. Uh-oh, now the big boot. This could be the end.
Well, he's looking for the paralyzer.
The claw! It's in! Jackal just thought you'd have a go at JR, so it's all your fault.
And Kurgan's just got a pinfall via the paralyzer, or the claw.
Well, that is it. Chains is paralysed and they're holding it long after the bell. And JR's trying his best on commentary to get over Kurgan, but it's just not working. Kurgan now dragging Chains out the ring. Still in claw.
Is this like the Ministry music?
Yeah, that's weird, isn't it? Very similar, and very similar as taking him away as well. Oh, now we're backstage. Vince McMahon waiting for the police.
Well, we see some sirens turning up. That's good. They chose the timing perfectly to turn up straight after the match had finished.
Yeah, it's good. You know, I'm pleased that the police could be so prompt like that. Probably watching the end of the match and then thought, come around, the 4 policemen in one car. Makes you think they're probably going to leave one person someone. And now an advert for Jax.
Wrestling figures.
Oh, you can squeeze them now. No, well, I think I actually had that Goldust, to be fair. And now we're back with Vince McMahon. And he's with all these policemen. And of course, like you said, the commissioner of Gerald, just in case things get rough. Gerald there used to be a shooter, don't forget. And now we're going to follow. Are we following Vince McMahon or are we going to go to a match?
Well, Vince is directing the police officers. I don't think he wants to be stunned again. Briscoe's following him. He's like, oh, I like a man in uniform.
Yeah. And now we're back in the ring. And Tony Chimmel's introducing the world's greatest promoter, Tennessee Lee. And you know what this means, Dan? You know who's going to be, don't you? It's JEFFJARRET. Ain't he great? And look at that. What an entrance, Dan. Explain for everybody.
Well, he's on he's got a white leather outfit on. He's got JJ plastered all over it and it's flashing red with his glasses and his hat. And he's on a horse.
Yes. Who is flashing as well.
Who is also flashing, yes.
Actual horse. And, fair play to that horse, man. I mean, got flashing lights and they're probably thinking what the fuck's going on. And Kane. Jay just running through WrestleMania last night. Pete Rose getting tombstoned. Of course, Tyson leaving DX as well. But now it's Jeff Jarrett time. 2018 Hall of Famer, Who'd have thunk it? Oh, and as Michael Cole tells us, the only man to pin Steve Blackman. Of course, he was the Goldberg of the WWF. But Jeff Jarrett getting a victory last week.
Not quite as Goldberg as Goldbergy.
No. But it's weird how they treat undefeated streaks. And oh, look at this. Aguilar here.
Oh, and Double J not waiting around. He's attacking Aguilar from behind.
Of course, Aguilar faced Takamichi Inoku at WrestleMania 14. That was a great light heavyweight title match.
It was, yeah. Swinging neck breaker by Double J.
Well, Aguilar would go on to become S.A. Rios in the WF, which would become, well, help the debut of Lita, wouldn't it? They'd come along together. And then S.A. Rios kind of faded away. Jeff Jarrett, like we said, did all right for himself.
Lost his place in WWE, so created TNA.
Yeah, fair play. If you can, you know what I mean? Rehab for life is one of the signs of seeing the crowd. Tends to lead join the commentary. And Aguilar on the second rope just got squashed by Jeff. And JR is very argumentative tonight, isn't he?
He always is. Jarrett's in control, telling everyone, ain't he great?
Yeah, clothesline to Aguilar now. He's going to attempt a suplex. And it's just too easy for Double J at the moment.
It's almost as if he's going from someone like... he's going against someone who's a cruiserweight.
Yeah, you can see there's definitely a mismatch, but I think the first 3 matches on Raw haven't been competitive at all. You know,
Nah.
they've been squash matches at this moment in time. The true story, of course, is Austin. Is he going to get arrested? Oh!
Aguilar doing a couple of backflips, jumping over Jeff Jarrett. Oh, catching with a spinning heel kick.
And now Aguilar catching Jeff Jarrett.
Running the ropes. Oh, spins through. Nice short arm clothesline there from Aguilar.
And he's trying to get the crowd behind him, but I don't think really they're with it. Nice slam by Aguilar.
Goes up top.
Oh!
It's like a Phoenix splash.
He was Jeff Jarrett was too far away when he tried to hit it anyway, and he actually rolled into the move. You can see he's a young man, though, Aguilar's only 19 at this moment in time.
Looking for the figure 4. Got it locked in. What's that, my love?
Well, I don't really think he tapped out there, but... submission. He gets the job done, and Timmy White wants to get moved out of the way. And hasn't Tennessee Lee changed Jeff Jarrett, eh?
He's changed him into a winner.
He really has. NWA Jeff. Uh-oh.
But Steve Blackman, he's pissed off. He's going to get some retribution on Double J. A big scissor kick. Eliminates him from the Rumble. And Blackman stands tall. Tennessee Lee looking to sneak up on the lethal weapon. Soon changes his tune, though, when Blackman catches him.
Now he's using the referee as a shield. Oh.
Shield.
And Jeff Jarrett attacks from behind. And that's just going to annoy Steve Blackman.
The Tennessee Lee quite intelligently saying that Jarrett, leave him alone. Get out of the ring as quickly as you can.
Yeah, we got the victory for today. Let's fight another day.
And Steve Blackman's obviously... they've turned the force field on around the ring because he can't escape it once he's got back into it.
Yeah. And now McMahon's outside the locker room.
Well, he's got Austin in cuffs and 4 officers are escorting Austin off the premises.
And Austin trying to get to Vince McMahon.
Shoulder barges him into a bunch of lockers.
There's a man saying, who the hell do you think you are? As JR says, 24 hours after winning the WF title, and he's going to be in prison tonight. Wow, I got that. WF The Music Volume 2. Problem is, they re-shows their stuff 4 or 5 times just because people have been over watching Nitro. They might come back over and see it. They still do it now, though, don't they? That's the worst thing about repeating something you've already seen.
But then you watch SmackDown and it shows you something that happened on Raw.
And Austin talking trash to McMahon all the way to the police car.
Telling Vince it ain't over.
Fucking hell, they all fit in there. It's like a clown car. 2 policemen in the back, 2 in the front.
One on the scooter, bibbing his hooter.
And they reverse out with Steve Austin. So, Austin is no longer on Raw. Let's all go to Nitro.
Yep. Let's see what Goldberg's up to.
Yeah, I see, yeah. And look how happy Vince McMahon is with himself.
One might say he's smirking.
He hates smirking, you know. He bans wrestlers from doing it. A few empty seats there, maybe people having a drink.
And Vince McMahon is coming out to the ring, probably to gloat about what's just happened.
Well, the poor man's already been stunned tonight, you know, and now the man that's sort of been arrested, he's coming out here just to clear things up. He's been wronged here tonight. Poor Vince McMahon.
That's what you get for playing things the Austin way and not the McMahon way.
Yeah. He's only got himself to blame, hasn't he, you know? Oh. So like you said, Dan, the explanation was like, look, he selected his side and Vince McMahon did his. No. His choice. Vince McMahon did his choice. He did warn Austin. He warned him.
He did warn him. I heard him warn him.
No, we all heard him warn him. So that's basically the first hour of Raw done and dusted. So what do you think the first hour, Dan?
Match-wise, it's not been the greatest. But as far as progressing storylines, they've gone from a kind of a new era. They've gone, I wouldn't say for a new era, but they've changed direction in what they're doing. And, you've basically had the backlash from what's happened with Austin and McMahon. Yes.
Well, Triple H there saying in the second hour that it's DX going to come to an X-rated end.
And, of course, you've seen the push of the LOD.
Yeah.
The progression of Jeff Jarrett and Steve Blackman's story. But apart from that, it's not been great in the ring.
But we're told in the second hour it's still cage match, Chainsaw Charlie and Cactus versus New Age Outlaws. And now we're getting interviewed by the Nation, The Rock. So The Rock saying that last night, Ken Shamrock blood busted open, but he still wants to lay the smackdown on Ken Shamrock, and he's still Intercontinental Champion, which is one of the many shocks. Now he's got a word for Farouk. So what did The Rock have to say to Farouk as we end the first hour?
Well, we thought he was going to have a problem with what happened with Farouk, but he said, no, you've opened my eyes to what it means to be in the Nation. Or basically, I'm going to... What was it? Something...
He said, Farouk, I'd like to thank you for the success, the reason why I'm Intercontinental Champion, the reason why I'm part of the Nation. Hell, the reason why I'm here is all down to you. And tonight, by the end of the night, you will see the strongest version of the Nation that there is as we head into Warzone titles.
That's what I was going to say, what he said.
So it's the Warzone. Here we go. It's the final hour. I'll say the final. It's the second hour of Raw going head-to-head with, of course, Monday Nitro. We're showing video clip again. What happened at the start of the night with Stone Cold Steve Austin laying out Vince McMahon with a Stone Cold Stunner. And then after that, we get LOD 2000 coming out with Sunny. And, of course, that squash match over Los Beliquas. So if it's just in case people are watching Nitro for that second hour, then this is just what happened. Well, no, Nitro's 3 hours, isn't it? So their third hour is against Raw's second. So Nitro's on a post for the first. So they could set up a better show, so to speak. And then Raw does this bit, because you're probably watching the second hour of Nitro. You come over here just to see the big news. Of course, it was Austin getting arrested.
And now out come the Nation of Domination.
We spoke about maybe problems with him recently, but as The Rock just said earlier, it's thanks to Farouk that he is who he is now, and he is still Intercontinental Champion. Like we know, it's purple straps, so maybe they're changing it up. Like I say, it's a new era. We're used to the white strap now with the Intercontinental title belt. But I still like that design. What do you like? That design or the one that we got now?
I like the white one.
Yeah.
I prefer the Warriors yellow one.
I quite like the whatever shape it is, loaf of bread shape it is, as opposed to the kind of Intercontinental Championship now. But here, loads of Cartman songs. South Park is huge at this time. The Nation in the ring. Full Nation salute. And The Rock selling the injuries from last night.
Ken Shamrock and Steve Blackman making their way down to the ring. Two of the most dangerous men in WWF at this time.
They are both lethal weapons as they come out here for this matchup. And they've had problems with the Nation. Of course, Steve Blackman's beating Farouk and other members in recent week. And of course, Shamrock's had his eyes on The Rock. And I love Ken. There you go. Get in the zone.
He can get in the zone.
Do you think Shamrock is intense?
I think he's very intense.
Do you think he's a good... Like, if you consider Goldberg to be at the top of the intensity scale...
I wouldn't say he's quite in Goldberg's league, but he is intense.
I don't know. Well, Shamrock, when he snaps, he goes to a different place, doesn't he? So
Goldberg doesn't need to... He is in that other place already.
And now it's going to be Farouk and The Rock versus Shamrock and Blackman. Of course, The Rock's still injured from the previous night. So we go Nation versus Shamrock and Blackman.
And The Rock telling Farouk some plans, I suppose.
Well, The Rock wants to get in there first. Huge Rocky Sucks chance. And he is one hell of a guy, isn't he? Injured 24 hours ago. He wants to beat up Ken Shamrock. Payback. And The Rock taking his time, but he's got a crowd against him, isn't he? So that's always good. Blind tag to Farouk.
Farouk don't care. He's saying, get out of the ring then. Damn.
Yeah, so I'll just get on with it. The leader. Rock maybe just playing mind games with Shamrock there.
You're trying to wind Ken Shamrock up. You don't want to do that.
Oh, the rake to the eye for Farouk. Straight to the body of Ken.
Oh, big power slam from Farouk.
He's not letting Shamrock breathe, though. Picks him up again.
Looking for the clothesline, but Shamrock ducks underneath it and delivers some shots to the stomach and a kick to the head. Tags in Steve Blackman.
And now what can Blackman do? He's had his problems with Jeff Jarrett in the first hour, and now he's taken on the Nation. Farouk dodges that spin kick. And then a lovely snap suplex by Farouk, getting Blackman. But again, not letting him breathe, slamming him down.
Oh, looking for the elbow, but Blackman bounces up to his feet. Spinning heel kick to the chest, knocks Farouk down.
Snapmare takedown, fist to the face. It's not pretty, but it's effective. Here comes Ken. And the Rock looking on. Ooh.
Ken Shamrock cold cocks the Rock. Offering out all the rest of the members of the nation, but I think he wants to focus on Farouk and the Rock at the moment. Spinning back elbow, drops Farouk to the mat again.
And Farouk in a bit of trouble here, but Rock cheering him on. And a nice drop kick there by Ken Shamrock. The Rock desperate for a tag.
Shamrock gets the tag to Steve Blackman. These two guys are working well as a team.
That was nice then. Going for the pin, but Farouk managed to kick out. It's been the longest match we've had so far. It actually feels like a proper match now. Do you know what I mean? Like,
it does.
Rather than the 3 squashes. And Blackman and Shamrock quick tags in. And now Shamrock zoning in on Farouk.
Oh, but Farouk with a spine buster.
And now Farouk desperate for the tag for the Rock. Rock reaching out.
Come on, tag him in, tag him in.
And Farouk.
Oh, well, the Rock saying he wants it up high.
And what's the Rock doing? He can reach him now, but he's saying, come on. And the Rock's saying, forget about you, Farouk. And Karma's saying, what's going on there?
Now forget about it. And the nation are questioning the Rock, asking him what he's doing. The Rock limps away.
And now Farouk in a world of trouble. Oh, no, wait. He's got Shamrock.
Kick to the midsection. Oh, looking to roll the dice for Snake Eyes, but gets caught by Shamrock.
Oh.
Belly to belly.
Farouk went the other way.
2, 3.
And the camera's more interested in the Rock walking away than it was Shamrock getting the victory. Well, Shamrock gets the win with Steve Blackman, but Farouk's left. And I think the nation went with him. Oh, now Farouk straps her down. Oh, no, the rest of the nation's still at ringside. D'Lo, Karma, Mark Henry. Farouk saying, no boy that crossed him ever becomes a man. Get down here, because he's going to deliver an ass whooping.
Well, the Rock likes to wear high fashion, and he's got something he can wear, and that is an old-fashioned ass whooping.
And now the Rock limping out here, but he's not backing down from Farouk. And of course, we've seen this tension brewing, and now if Rock's in, face to face, and the rest of the nation to come in, maybe calm it down. Karma, D'Lo, Mark Henry, and Farouk takes down the Rock.
The Rock reverses it though. Both men, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Trying to pull Farouk off. Well, Mark Henry's got the Rock. Karma and D'Lo restraining Farouk.
Well, the nation, an absolute mess here. And the Rock getting out. Well, I think that is it for the Rock and the nation at the moment. Even Rock looks like a star when he does that. Look at that. Stays back. Farouk says, get back here. Gives him the eyebrow.
Oh, but the rest of the nation beating down Farouk.
What the hell is this? The leader getting taken out. Right, Henry picks him up. Look at the Rock. You wondered when he cut that eyebrow for the same planned. And the Rock saying, no, let me have him. He's got Farouk.
Plants Farouk into the mat. And we thought the Rock was going to leave the nation, but I think Farouk has been kicked out.
Yeah, you're right. The Rock grabs the microphone. He goes, he's not just a leader.
He's the ruler of the nation of domination.
So the Rock, Karma, Mark Henry, and D'Lo talk about new days. Farouk's out. Rock's new leader. Sorry, new ruler. Oh, look at that. The new nation. Putting the arms up, solidifying the brotherhood. And what a shock that is. The people's eyebrow.
It's a powerful thing.
Think how loyal these 3 men were to Farouk. If it wasn't for Farouk, Karma, Mark Henry, D'Lo wouldn't have been in the nation to begin with. Wouldn't have jobs even now. They seem happy about it.
But then they're trying to get rid of the weak link. I mean, an older dog compared to these young guys in the nation. And they see something in the Rock. They see a future with the Rock. And times are a-changing.
This is exactly what it's about here tonight on Raw. We see times are changing. The Rock is looking to lead the nation into the Attitude Era now. We get WrestleMania rewind of Pete Rose.
Got tombstoned.
And of course, the encore's tomorrow night. Oh, well, just watch on the network. Is it the first time you used the eyebrow then? I don't think it is.
No.
But maybe it's the first time that they took note of it as a sign.
A significance.
And now the King's joined on War. He's looking smart alongside JR. Well, Farouk's going to have problems with the nation, but talk about another group. It's DX music. It's Triple H in China.
An X-rated end to Degeneration X, I believe.
Yeah, well, no Shawn Michaels. No Mike Tyson at the moment.
Well, Mike Tyson isn't part of DX anymore. He's part of the School of 316.
That is an excellent point.
And Shawn Michaels, we know he was injured going into the match with Stone Cold.
Well, we hope we can get more update on get an update on that here. And Triple H must be annoyed after what happened last night. At least he retained the European title against Owen Hart.
He did that indeed.
But it's amazing though, think about it, like spoiler alert, if you think about it, in 2 segments, The Rock was given his own group and, you know what I mean, made as a future star. And exactly the same thing with Triple H as well. It's no wonder these 2 guys became the stars they did when they had the building blocks. Do you know what I mean? Like,
indeed, yes.
You look at Ziggler, what helps he had? Nothing.
Well, you know, he was part of the Spirit Squad, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, sorry, my bad.
Well, it's not only that. It's earlier on in the show you had Austin cementing his stance. You had The Rock become the leader of the nation. And now what happens with Triple H?
Yeah, well, Triple H got the mic. So Triple H get the mic and saying 1,000 times he asked Michaels if Tyson was on board. And he said that, yeah, don't worry about it, kid, it's fine.
And then he said, Michaels dropped the metaphorical ball. He said, don't worry, kid, I've picked it up. And the ball is now in my court.
And he's going to take care of everything now.
The Triple H has appointed himself the leader of the nation. He didn't kick Shawn Michaels out per se. This is Triple H's DX now.
It's the genesis of the new DX that Triple H is going to be a leader of. So he's going to build an army to take care of business that should have been taken care of at the start. So when you build an army, you need to look for your blood. Look to your friends.
Friend.
To the Clique. Oh, wait a minute. There's only a few members of the Clique.
What, the Outsiders are coming down?
Well, the Outsiders, Michaels. Oh, my God.
X-Pac.
Look who's back. Well, we last saw him as 6. Part of the NWO. Now he's here. He's getting a strong reaction. And Triple H meeting him head on. And the King saying what a huge night it is. New leader of the nation. New members of DX. I remember X-Pac. He's just a matter to tuck it.
X-Pac is jacked. What was that? Sorry, X-Pac?
Never the strongest on the mic, was he? What's amazing is that X-Pac's come out here, get given a mic, and then he's talking about a star in another company, and they're allowing it. Do you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, what do you want to say about Hogan? And he's like, Hogan, pal, you suck. Triple H is checking to make sure X-Pac's allowed to talk. My God, X-Pac had a lot to say then, didn't he?
Yes, and most of what he had to say was about World Championship Wrestling, about Hogan, Eric Bischoff, and of course saying that they would have had the Outsiders in Scott Hall, Kevin Nash with them, but they're being held hostage by WCW.
Yeah, I mean, I love the comment about Hogan, you better not stop short or else Bischoff will see what you have for breakfast. Obviously, you know, he's been used as a pawn in the politics in WCW. Now he's got given a chance in the WWF, and that's why it's good to have competition as well, because, like you say, you get given a chance in another place to make it again. So he's here, full of emotion. So X-Pac has joined DX with Triple H and China. Oh, and now we get a Bop It.
A Bop It promoted WrestleMania Rewind Slam of the Week, and that was, of course, Sable's Sable Bomb on Luna.
I wonder if we're going to see Sable here tonight. And we're back, and X-Pac's not left yet. Well, JR's calling him a kid at the moment. It's still quite shocking because it's one of the first ones for it. Oh, we talked about Mark Bear and Sable. There we are next. But we talked about people jumping ship from WCW or over, jumping ship to WF over to WCW. And now finally we're seeing one of the guys who got a strong reaction there, who could argue is a great talent, coming over to WWF.
But how did he leave WCW? That's the thing. He didn't leave WCW. He was extorted. He was kicked out of WCW.
I mean, go back a couple of months on the WWE vs WCW podcast and you'll find out the real story of why Six was fired for. But he's here now, and we've seen a lot here tonight already with the DX, the Nation, and of course Austin. And we're able to find more about Sable in a minute.
Well, someone's in bed. It's Val Venus.
And he's saying he's so damn good.
Is he watching one of his films?
I think this is his debut video. So we're getting introduced to Val Venus. It's even the way he's laying there, isn't he? Oh, that is disgusting. So this porn star to penetrate the World Wrestling Federation.
And he's calling out a warning to the ladies.
Hello, ladies. So we're going to get all of Val Venus. So a porn star's coming to WWF. It's definitely an attitude change. But isn't it great? Because they still do it now, didn't they? Introducing new characters. Val Venus is coming to the WWF.
They could have spelled it C-U-M-I-N-G.
A big penis ejaculating everywhere. But anyway, back to the action. As far as the ECW for Life sign's not been taken away yet, but...
Taka Michinoku's in the ring, the new light heavyweight champion. Is he the new one?
Still.
And still light heavyweight champion, Taka Michinoku.
Let's see if he can do better than Aguilar did early on the card.
So we just had Val Venus, and then the next shot is of Taka Michinoku. It's fun history them two are going to have. Choppy PP.
We will be seeing this in 1998 as we go along. But Taka's in action against Mark Mero and a huge babyface reaction for
Sable. It's got Marvellous Mark Mero with Sable. It's going to the Sable's going to get bigger. Mark Mero's going to get smaller, and it's going to be Sable.
Exactly.
Featuring Mark Mero. And there are two things I like about Sable.
Personality and her wrestling manoeuvre in the Sable Bomb. Putting Luna away last night. Of course, Mark Mero out here now. But they just want to watch Sable. But still to come tonight, still cage tag team title match.
Yes, New Age Outlaws get their rematch against the old fellas.
Uh-oh. Luna's out and she wants a rematch. Sable says, you got it.
Well, Luna says, I want a special match.
Well, no, she didn't. What'd she say?
I want a special match.
You did. Sable said, all right. Luna's pretty ripped, to be fair.
She wants an evening gown.
She wants an evening gown match.
So, an evening gown match versus Sable at Unforgiven.
So, is this the first ever bra and panties style match?
I think it could be, yeah. Because we haven't seen anything like this. Luna offering a challenge to Sable. I mean, this would kind of go down the rabbit hole a little bit in the Attitude Era with bra and panty matches, and we're going to get pudding bowl matches. And
well, no disrespect.
Pudding.
This is one match I want Sable to lose.
Well, we'll see what happens when you get to Unforgiven. You know, I wouldn't mind seeing Luna losing. Just to check her out a little bit, just to be impartial. Well, Sable said, I already kicked your ass, and it'll be a pleasure to kick it again at Unforgiven.
Or be square.
Yeah, Luna's like... And then what did Luna say back?
Be there.
So it's on like Donkey Kong.
And a massive Sable chant goes up through the crowd. But we're forgetting there's a match as well.
Finally going to have it. Taka slaps Mero to start.
Spinning heel kick from Michinoku. Lovely drop kick.
I think the crowd's been great tonight as well in Albany, New York. They've been reacting to basically everything well. As Mero stops Taka. Power bomb. Was that a Mero bomb? Sable 469. Nice. And now look at Mero. Of course, now look at Mero, Golden Gloves champion, and showing it there with the jabs and then the big right hand. And rocking Taka.
Taka goes down.
But at least he's a champion, so he's got the heart of determination. Oh my God.
But he gets planted face first onto the mat.
Go on, Sable. Cheer on Mero. And now look at Mark Mero, cheating there, getting his wrist tape.
And I think Mark Mero's a bit pissed off about what transpired between Sable and Luna, and Sable agreeing to the bra and panties match.
Yeah, and Sable's arguing with Mark Mero. And she's telling the referee he used wrist tape. Oh, we get rolled up. 2.
Michinoku driver.
Kick out. Oh.
And Mark Mero with a low blow on Taka Michinoku.
Yep. And
this
now
on his shoulder.
Oh my
TKO.
God almighty, lost control of Taka there, the impact, gets the victory, so Mark Mero beats the light heavyweight champion, and you can see why, with all the good stuff going on in the Attitude Era, why light heavyweights / cruiserweights never really work, because they've been put there 2 matches tonight, the champions lost to a heavier guy, of course Aguilar earlier, so there's not really any respect, they just kind of filler on the roster.
But there's a bit of respect going on from Sable to Taka Michinoku, asking if he's alright, and Mark Mero's like, I'll show he's alright, and kicks him with his foot. Well, he's not going to kick him with his hand, is he?
He's
That'd
not,
be a punch.
Yeah. And now Mero's sending Sable away. Oh my God, what's going on here? And there's 3 guys in here and beating down Taka Michinoku. I mean, I recognise a couple from ECW. Is that Dick Togo? And that's Funaki there. And who are these 3 men? And why are they beating up Taka Michinoku? Oh my God.
Oh, they plant him into the mat. Oh, and a senton off the top.
Well, if the day couldn't get any worse, it just has. And these three mischievous men...
Who were they, James?
I don't know. JR is furious by it, so am I. But we're back from the break.
Classic match. We got the new Midnight Express going against Mosh and Thrasher, the headbangers.
Yeah, Bodacious Bart and Bodacious... Bombastic Bob and Bodacious Bart. Oh my God, is that Dan Severn coming out here?
Dan the Beast Severn.
Well, one of the toughest men in UFC/MMA.
And one of the most handsome moustaches I've seen on a fella for a while.
What a stash he has got. And now look at this. We start off with Mosh and Bodacious Bob. Or Bombastic Bob.
James E. Cornette is on...
Yeah, don't forget, Dan, this is for the NWA tag team titles. Of course, Headbangers beating the Rock and Roll Express for the championships. Now, New Midnight Express looking for it. Of course, they made their WrestleMania debut last night. But they've been strong recent times, you know. But at the moment, they're in trouble. Oh, that did not look nice.
No, I don't look like it went well.
No, I don't know what they're trying to do there. But the Headbangers come to a bit of a square screen. Dan Severn just watching on.
Sorry, Dan and his moustache.
Sorry, Dan the Mustache Severn looking on. And now it's Bart. He's got Thrasher.
Trying to talk the match through to him. Thrasher with a backslide. Blind tag by Bob, but Thrasher's roll up obviously wasn't counted by the referee. Swinging net breaker. And now the new Midnight Express are in full control.
And the quality of wrestling is not been that pretty here tonight. It's been really basic. It's not been on long enough to really offend me yet, even though this is getting there now as Bob gets tagged in. No, Bob tags in Bart.
I have to say the quality of wrestling is a lot better in a majority of WCW's matches because there are a few exceptions. But when you're getting the likes of Chris Jericho, Eddie Guerrero going in matches, even as Goldberg as well. I know he's not a great worker, but he tells the perfect story in the ring.
Yeah, and this is the problem, because apart from the main event matches with the NWO and Peter Hogan and stuff like that, who kind of work this old WF style, it's much different. Whereas the main eventers on Raw seem to bring it a lot more. Those big type matches seem to be a lot more entertaining. So this is what kind of Raw's trying to get right at the moment, you know, and we're going to see this with the kind of roster evolving as well. Even though the Headbangers, to be fair to them, do stick around. The same with Bob Holly as well. Of course, Bart Gunn has had success in the tag team division with his brother, Billy.
Twin brothers with different mothers.
And fathers. And now Bob Holly on the second rope.
Wow, lands foot first. Can he get a tag to his partner? I think both men are looking for tags now.
Mosh, desperate. Trying to get the fans into it, and slowly but surely they are.
Well, don't call me Shirley, but it looks like they're both getting to their feet. Tag in, Mosh is in.
Well, Bart got in even though he didn't get the tag, and now he's been beaten down.
Bob getting beaten down as well. Slams for the pair of them.
Yep, stereo. Oh, nice drop kick. Oh, about a kick to the back of Mosh's head, stopping a pin.
Thrasher's in. Big right hand to Bob.
Oh, but referees get distracted with Thrasher. And now Mosh running towards Bart. Come on, quick, get in position. There you go. There's Bob now running over.
Oh, big right hand from Bob Holly.
And now referee's still distracted. And now we're going to see double team.
Bob Holly gets launched in. Gets the victory.
Oh my God, look what happened there. Everybody fighting to get to the row as the match finished. And the new Midnight Express. Sorry, I think this is bigger news. New Midnight Express.
The new NWA Tag Team Champions.
Yeah. Dan the Mustache Severn there.
Dash.
Yeah, he mustache into the ring. Cornette says to him, get in there. He just takes out Mosh.
For Thrasher.
Mosh and Thrasher take it to Suplex City. And Severn's not finished yet. He's got the knee on the back. And Jim saying, all right. Well, they've introduced this new guy, Willie B.
Willie.
Willie. Can Dan the Mustache Severn become a huge star for the NWA/WWF?
Wasn't he in like UFC 1 or UFC 2?
He's had a lot of history here. And there's some real beef with Ken Shamrock as well. But we got new NWA Tag Team Champions. And what a night it's been. And again, looking into the future, I'm sure Bob Holly and Bart Gunn, great careers ahead of them. Well, someone's on the phone. Stone Cold's on the phone. He gets one phone call and he's rang Raw. So a phone call actually getting fed into the arena as well. And Austin saying that Vince McMahon's a sorry son of a bitch. And his ass belongs to Stone Cold Steve Austin. Next week at Raw, Austin will be here. My God, Austin 316 said he's just going to whoop McMahon's ass. But we're back from the break and they're setting up the old blue steel cage. So here we go, we're going into the, I guess the main event.
It is now time for the dodgy blue cage to be constructed.
So they are constructing this blue cage. Are you not a fan of it? I quite like this in a weird way.
I thought the lights had gone out and the referees are trying to construct a cage.
Music. Well, he lost to The Undertaker last night. And JR tells us he's not scheduled to be here, damn it.
Oh, God.
Well, what a match it was at WrestleMania between The Undertaker and Kane. An all-out war. It took 3 tombstones to put away. And yet, 24 hours later, he is standing here.
And The Undertaker is not.
Yeah. That's what Barry has to say.
Undertaker!
Wow. So the only man to ever kick out of the famous tombstone, and he did it 3 times. He said, do you really think this is over and done with? Well, it actually was meant to be over and done with. The storyline was only meant to go up to WrestleMania, but because of the success of Kane and how well he'd done, they continued it. So the whole world saw Kane beating the Undertaker all over the ring, and he did put a beating on him. So Paul Bearer had a dream, apparently, and woke up at 2 in, and he had a vision of a ring surrounded by fire, and that being the very first Inferno match, which conveniently is going to take place at WWF's next pay-per-view, Unforgiven. And the Kane music cut Paul Bearer off, which is always good, and he walked away. But there we go, a ring surrounded by... Have you ever heard anything like that before, Dan? That's
I've
mental.
never heard of anything like that, no. It's a complete new conception that's foreign to me.
Exactly. You talk about fire surrounding the ring. Well, tonight in the Raw's main event, we've got a steel cage surrounding the ring. And here comes Cactus Jack now and Chainsaw Charlie. And look at the bruise on Terry Funk. That's from the dumpster. Well, poor Terry Funk there.
That is probably one of the worst bruises I've seen in my life. And the fucker's still out here walking around with his chainsaw.
And we get another WrestleMania promo. Of course, the Encore's tomorrow night. Or go back and listen to the WNR's WrestleMania 14 podcast. Oh, you didn't know?
Your ass better call somebody.
Here come the New Age Outlaws, Road Dogg and Billy Gunn. They're all at Road Dogg's part of the job squad.
Yes, and of course you were saying there's loads of Cartman signs in the crowd because South Park is big right now. The badass Billy Gunn is coming out donning a Kenny t-shirt.
Oh my God, they killed Billy Gunn is hopefully something they don't say later tonight. Road Dogg says you got another thing coming tonight. Well, at least they got the cage set up now. Uh-oh. The Outlaws can't even get in. The technician's not even out yet.
The technicians can't get out. He's finally out. Someone's escaped the cage already. And they're ripping the shirt off Terry Funk.
Oh, and Terry Funk's t-shirt's been ripped off and that bruise has been targeted. I'm sure Billy Gunn and Road Dogg watched that in the back. So
they've had a dumpster match, and now they're in a cage.
A cage, indeed.
And Nicholas.
And Chainsaw Charlie and Cactus got Billy Gunn up. They put him like a trio wall in the cage. Oh!
And Mick Foley shoulder into the face of Billy Gunn. Billy Gunn's trapped in no man's land.
Billy's in trouble. Chainsaw's got him. Cactus headbutts Road Dogg.
I do enjoy what Mick Foley says, like, you know, Annie.
Yeah, the sounds he makes, where he just made a huge sound as he went to the side of the cage.
Now they got some handcuffs. Billy Gunn's got some handcuffs, I believe.
Oh, and Chainsaw's stopping it, but Road Dogg's got him now.
Oh, and he's choking out Chainsaw Charlie. He's choking his Charlie.
He is, and he's in serious trouble.
Famous at Mick Foley, or Cactus Jack, or Mankind, or Dude Love.
And now Terry Funk / Chainsaw Charlie's on the other side, and he's in trouble with the Outlaws. And it comes out saying what a night of change it's been, and they might have new tag team champions. Because they're getting handcuffed now to the cage.
Oh, Chainsaw Charlie's not getting handcuffed, he's getting throat cuffed to the cage.
And now Cactus tried to escape, but Road Dogg cut him off. And Funk rocking back and forth, he's stuck.
Cactus Jack got flapjack into the side of the cage.
Yep, he's in trouble. The Outlaws double teaming. Chainsaw now got Cactus again.
And a double DDT for Cactus Jack plants both Road Dogg and Billy Gunn.
No, is there a chance that he can recover and help out his tag team partner? Oh, no, it looks like Billy's going pole driver.
A double leg takedown and slingshots Billy Gunn into the cage. Terry Funk right hands Billy Gunn.
You can only do what you can do. Cactus sends Road Dogg into the side of the cage. And now where's Cactus going?
Well, he's going up.
And Billy cutting him off. Very precarious position there right at the top. They must be at least 10 or 15 feet high.
At least 20 to 30 feet high.
Oh!
Billy Gunn crutches himself on the top rope. What are DX doing out here?
Wait a minute, here comes the kid as Cactus over the cage. Oh! Alright, one was enough. 3 chair shots. China's distracting the referee. He's thrown a chair in.
And Billy Gunn's got Mankind up for this pile driver, and Road Dogg spikes him.
Oh my god, it broke his neck. And Road Dogg
doing the worm into the cover.
We got new tag team champions here in New Age Outlaws, but the bigger story is it was Six and Triple H that helped out along with China. Now it's just a massive beatdown.
But I'm sure that the Outlaws could have done this on their own without the assistance.
Well, they were doing all right. Yeah, they were doing all right in this. And now Billy Gunn telling Cactus to suck it.
And Cactus gets pedigreed into the mat.
And there's Austin Chance here. He's in prison or in jail. And I think we just found out, Dan, who the newest members of DX are.
What, the Old Age Outlaws, Cactus Jack and Terry Funk?
No, I said New Age Outlaws, Billy Gunn and Road Dogg. We saw the close association they've had with DX these past few months, but now actually becoming members.
Bronco Buster to the back of Cactus Jack.
Well, this is just disrespectful beatdown. Look at Billy Gunn.
An up close suck it.
Well, nothing these hardcore legends can do here.
These are a bunch of degenerates, James.
They really are. Take it to the next level. It's a new era indeed, and Triple H got Cactus again.
And a hard, unprotected chair shot to the head of Cactus Jack from Triple H.
And now all climbing the cage. And DX, we thought might be gone, but as JR says, they are stronger than ever. Well, Dan, that is it for all. What have you thought of this episode? The second hour's been awesome.
It has, yeah. It's certainly been eventful. The first half, I think it was more about the storytelling and wrapping up of storylines that had happened at WrestleMania. The second half, I think that's where the action picked up, and again, we got some more conclusions of stories.
Yeah, like really, really good stuff. We had and quite historic stuff if you're looking back on it now. Triple H becoming leader of D-Generation X, taking it forward with the Outlaws. And of course, Six in China, The Rock kicking Farouk to the curb and kind of going forward there. And of course, the birth of the Attitude Era. Stone Cold's very first day as WWF champion is stunning Vince McMahon and saying he answers to no one. And it just sets it up perfectly. And it makes you want to watch it. And of course, we know Undertaker and Kane are facing off again, Unforgiven in an Inferno match. So it's really good stuff on Raw's part. And a really good way to come out the gates, considering how good WrestleMania 14 was, wasn't it, you know? So what was the rating for that Raw episode?
The
Dan?
rating for Raw was a 3.8.
And we're going to find out if Nitro betters that, if it does win the war this week. Like I say, Nitro 133, March 30th. Yes, it is episode 133, and we have a promo to start. It's from Thunder, and it's Hogan and Nash. Big Kev says Hogan's a leader, but the heart and the soul are wolf pack. So problems there.
Yes, and then we get the opening titles, and we're at the...
up the shaft.
Then we get the opening titles, and they announce that we're at the United Center in Chicago. The Chicago way.
We get fireworks, and then Tony welcomes us to the #1 wrestling program.
Not for long.
Well, tensions in the NWO, and Tony says he's joined. Tensions in the NWO, says Tony, and he's joined by Mikey and Larry.
Then we get some Nitro girls.
Yeah. Well, he says Tony says every major star is here tonight. Major star. He said every major star is here tonight and sold out. And Mike says obviously that WCW are sold out.
Not for long.
Well, they hyped the bat match at Stampede, and it's Hogan Nash versus Giant and Piper.
Then they show a video from Thunder to underline the problems with Nash and Hogan.
Well, Tony says that they now have the best in-ring action to start the show.
And it's Matt Enos and Wayne Bloom versus High Voltage, Rage and Chaos.
Well, how can Tony say that this is the best in-ring action, eh?
Awful.
Well, Enos and Bloom the team for 10 years at this point. Maybe that's why they were so successful.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But it's an over a 5-minute match, which was a shame.
Yeah, but someone heard my wish, because then the Giant comes out here and he's... Well, there's Enos. Enos in a little bit of trouble. Bloom, I think, will do a little bit better here.
Nope, he got chokeslammed as well. What about Rage?
Can Rage do better? No.
Colin Chaos, your turn. Oh, no, that was... No, sorry, can Cage do better? No.
You're right.
This is Rage.
That's Chaos, you were right. Kenny Chaos just got thrown down as well. So it's Rage, Chaos, Bloom and Enos, the best in-ring action we got. At least the Giant comes out, though, and...
yes, and he looks good.
He does. Let's see what he says. Oh.
He says, Roddy Piper, you want me? You got me.
Right. Well, Mean Gene in the ring after the break, and he invites Rowdy Roddy Piper down. The Giant follows Piper, and Piper is wearing a Cubs hat.
Interesting baseball fact, Chicago Cubs were absolutely shit for decades, but did win a World Series a couple of years ago.
Yeah, well, Cheap Pops got a mean Giant.
We get a few Cheap Pops, got a mean Giant. Spring Stampede is our World Series. Hogan and Nash are ex-lovers.
He also says tonight Luger Sting versus Nash and a partner of his choice.
And plus, we get Hogan versus Piper.
Right, I got to say so. I got really confused the past couple of months because you know the Disciple, the guy that's been hanging around with Hulk Hogan in the ring.
Yep.
I thought that was Horace Hogan, and I completely forgot because I saw Horace Hogan. I thought, wait a minute, Horace Hogan's bald. I got it wrong. I will admit to my mistake. The Disciple's not Horace Hogan, but a roided up Brutus the Barber Beefcake. But more on that in a bit. Right. Well, actually, I'll say more on that in a bit. And then Rowdy Roddy Piper actually says that, you know, the guy hanging around Hogan, that's Beefcake.
After the break, we're shown the same video as we saw in the beginning. And then just a bit more, Nash asking why Six was fired and Hall not on.
Yeah, well, Hogan says Six can't cut the mustard. And we've just seen Monday Night Raw, and that was a comment that Six was referring to there. Hogan don't know where the hell Hall is. He said just because Macho's crazy, they should be okay in the NWO now.
We should have watched Thunder instead.
Yeah. The full segment is shown. Anyway, back to the live stuff, and it's a match.
And Saturn is out here with a full flock.
Yeah, Raven's carrying the US title, but not champion. He gets his chance versus DDP at Spring Stampede.
And he's going against Finlay.
Well, this is much better, much more snug. They lay into one another, they trade suplexes until Saturn hits an exploder and rings a Saturn for the win. They
use Saturn a lot of this time. I wonder if they have or had big plans for him.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen them a lot involved. Well, Mean Gene on stage promoting the WCW line. More advertising.
Yes, Starburst on the road. And Scott Hudson runs through the dates.
Yeah, he would later on become a commentator on the actual WCW program. And then can you guess what's next?
The dreaded NWO music.
Yeah, it's Hogan Bish, but with the entire NWO. Well, the more I see the gimmick, the more problems with it. The Bish beef and others slapping, dab hands and being babyface. No wonder no other talent got over. See, they come out here, they'll get the crowd all on the good side, you know. It is Hogan's show, you know.
It is indeed, yes. He says, if you're Hollywood or Disciple, you're filet.
Yeah, but no Scott Hall or Kevin Nash out with the NWO.
Hogan just talks smack about Piper, then grabs Beefcake. He is the number one man that worship him.
Well, family problems in the NWO. Nash is grumpy. He's on his way out here. He's on his own here tonight. He's not going to have a member of the NWO to help him.
So that's Beefcake.
There's Beefcake there. The roided up guy there is Hogan, Steiner and Beefcake.
The roided up guys.
Oh, look who's is though.
It is Kevin Nash.
Yeah. And Nash just walking straight out here, wearing outside his t-shirt. So if he can't pick an NWO member, I mean, who could his partner be?
Well, if he can't choose an NWO member, there's not really a lot of other choice he can have.
I mean, he's not made a lot of friends here, has he, really, in WCW? Well, Nash comes in and he just, Hogan makes his point again.
And Nash just mocks Hogan.
Brother. So Nash says there might be one or there might be many people to stick a knife in your back. And look how many people are standing behind Hogan right now. And exactly the same sentiments, Dan, I have with you as Nash has with Hogan. I won't stab you in the back, I'll shoot you right between the eyes, you see? And Nash saying he's got a partner already. So Hogan says, like, you might have problems, but we've still got a pay-per-view match to have together, and then afterwards we'll sort it out, which, you know, it's kind of gets in the way of the storyline then, doesn't it?
It does indeed, yes.
So Nash comes out, not intimidated by any of them in the NWO. I mean, how many people are out there? 10? Nash just walks out, yeah, whatever. Gives shit to Hogan, walks out again. Don't forget, Nash only cared about a couple of people. If we talk about the clique, that's basically what it is. And he actually says, like, he had his friends, and then he just wanted to make money. So that's what he did in the NWO, WCW.
Indeed, yes.
Well, next match is, of course, Chris Jericho in action. This is a brilliant bit now. To talk about Chris Jericho character, so we talk about, like, The Rock and Triple H and people like this. This is one of Chris Jericho's probably one of the most famous things he did in WCW, trying to make himself like a fully hated heel. See, a few Monday Night Jericho signs, and look at Jericho coming out here. Now that's how you act as a heel.
That is indeed, yes. He, someone had a sign, probably took him hours to make up, saying, I'm here to see Monday Night Jericho. And he rips it up and throws it in their face.
Exactly, and that's what you should do. And he comes out, look at him, jacking and jiving, thinking he's the greatest. And
then he blows his fans a kiss.
But he's going to be in action here, defending his Cruiserweight title.
Mini Ric Flair, Charles Robinson in the crowd, in referee.
Jericho dedicating this match to Dean Malenko, who quit after losing to Jericho. Jericho's just great, even on the mic here. The crowd dislike him, but they love him for it, if you know. They love to hate him.
Indeed, yes.
And he's going up against, oh, look at this sprightly young man.
Marty Jannetty.
That's a girl's name. Marty Jannetty's coming out here. One after the Rockers, and this is a dream match, you know. Talk about Jericho versus Michaels that we've had. Jannetty versus Jericho. How could it be all so different?
Jericho starts off straight away with a kick to the midsection and a few chops. Spinning heel kick.
Well, Jericho's confident, I'll give him that. Irish whipping Jannetty. And Jannetty stops it with a back elbow, now the clothesline.
Oh, flying punch to the head. Jannetty, from his athletic days in the Rockers.
Well, of course, he left the WF to look for something better. Was teamed up with Al Snow before he did. This gave him. This might be his chance. Qualifies with the Cruiserweight. Hits the power slam. Going for the cover.
Oh, but Jericho managing to kick out.
No, like I say, definitely a veteran. And sends Jericho's head into the turnbuckle.
That's the thing. You're saying Jannetty's a veteran. Shawn Michaels would go on to have his best matches in about 4 years' time.
Yeah, well, this is the crazy thing about it. We talked about this last night. If we look at the date in history, Michaels basically retired from wrestling for 4 years. So Jannetty would be in front of him, going for the rocker dropper.
Well, he gets gets reversed by Jericho, and now he tries to get in the Lion Tamer, and Jannetty's tapping out.
He's got him bad there, not great. But yeah, like I said, Michaels' career would be over for everybody that fought it for 4 years, and Jannetty maybe could have his chance in losing to in 3 minutes to Chris Jericho. Not great, but I still think it's like a little trinket of history. You know what I mean? Like that. And I think what's even better is what's to come now. So he beat Jannetty quickly, and he's got something prepared. Jericho's got a huge list. And he says Malenko might be the man of 1,000 holds. He knows 1,004. Well, Jericho is giving us the list here. The list of Jericho.
That is it, yes. It's one of the early lists of Jericho.
On to the ad break.
Coming back from the ad break, and Jericho's still going through his list of manoeuvres.
When Jericho talked back to this during the ad break, he just had a propaganda crowd, so when they came back, they hated him for it. He went back to the list. And Tony Schiavone's trying to cut Jericho off here because it's time for our second hour. Look at the fireworks. And off here, it's the second hour. Of course, we've got Piper and Hogan. Kevin Nash is going to find a tag team partner. Still in the ring. Is 722 now. Even the fireworks didn't stop Jericho.
That's brilliant.
Trying to cut his microphone.
Now Prince RK is coming out.
Well, he's not happy to be out here. Jericho's still going on. We let Jericho finish, please. Also, Dean Malenko trained Prince Arcade. He said, you're not going to disrespect his memory. And Jericho getting out of here. And Jericho now, look what he's saying. Rest my list.
You just made the list.
Well, he wants his holds. And he wants his title belt. And he comes out here, so I think when you're given like a little bit of time...
Well, Jericho's still got 200 more.
Exactly, but when you've got a little bit of time, though, to get a segment over, for Jericho to make it work and to go into the next one, even to the second hour, it is brilliant, you know. Just imagine, so when Austin McMahon came out, Jericho was the first person next people saw on Monday Nitro.
Well, of course, he's going to be facing Glacier.
Yeah, so Prince Arcade versus Glacier is a nothing match.
Yes, Glacier off the top, but gets caught with a Northern Light suplex and loses.
Yeah, and up next, Nitro Girl.
Woo! And the next match is El Dandy versus Juventud Guerrera.
Yeah, well, again, nothing match, but slightly better than the Glacier match.
El Dandy is quite handy.
Yeah, but unfortunately got caught with a Hoovy driver, and Hoovy won the match.
Yes, and the next match is Kaz Hayashi versus Chavo Guerrero.
I should say Heenan has joined the commentary team.
Yes, each match is just a little bit better.
Yep.
Kaz took control, nice drop kick off top, but Chavo hit a tornado but Chavo hit a tornado DDT out of nowhere. No, it can't be out of nowhere because that is the only thing RKO can be have. But Chavo hit a tornado DDT nearly out of nowhere for the win.
Well, he doesn't need Eddie in this corner, does he? And Chavo helps him up to shake his hand, a nice sign of respect.
Yes, and the next match, and Raven climbs in the ring.
Well, Raven cuts a promo saying people are stupid and don't understand him.
And a huge Raven sucks chant.
Yeah, he was definitely over. Raven talks about how close him and Paige were, but all it was about Paige and not what about Raven. I mean, what about Raven?
What about Raven in ECW for 3 years, but Paige didn't help him. He was jealous. The Snake said you weren't a true friend.
Yeah, you are going to feel the pain. Quote the Raven. And then we get the dreaded NWO music.
Oh, dear. And it is Buff Bagwell, and it is going to be the Flock versus NWO.
Not going to guess it's going to end in interference.
I think your guess may be right, but we get a Buff clothesline.
Pose.
Move.
Pose.
Pose.
Raven out of the ring. DDP makes his way through the crowd and chases Raven.
And then joins the commentary team.
Oh, yeah, he grabs the microphone and explains how they helped each other. He's got selective memory, poor Scotty. When Raven was born, he was born with a silver spoon in his mouth.
Yes, and Paige's mum had 3 kids before 20.
Whore. Well, Paige turns negatives into positives. He mentioned Barbed Wire City. That is ECW, basically.
And DDP says the hardest job is real 9 to 5.
Yeah, he is the people's champion, isn't it? It's like the reality era, but fans don't care because some cunt's barking during this whole thing with Paige talking.
What a complete tosser, but the commentators build up main event and the mystery partner for Kevin Nash.
Well, next match, and it's time to get funky.
And that is Disco Inferno versus Kidman.
Yeah, sorry about that. Well, Kidman character is different in a good way because he doesn't actually want to be there, you know?
Yes, and Kidman made this match. He bumped everywhere.
Yeah, and it's one of the longer non-main event matches on Nitro.
But Disco puts away Kidman with the pile driver.
Yeah, Tony says it's the best Disco's looked. I wonder why.
Yes, and it's the third hour and we get some fireworks.
Yeah, but it's the NWO music.
Oh dear, and it is Hennig and Rude.
Yeah, Rude joins the commentary.
And Jim the Anvil Neidhart is out to fight the crackhead.
He is, but Kurt stops him from getting in, so Jim pulls him out and fits our friend Barricade.
There's a perfect bump in the corner and Jim shouts for Rude.
Well, terrible. Kurt back with the chops.
Jim gets the bear hug.
And then Rude runs into the ring to push the referee.
Rick gets caught for a second, but they beat him down and handcuff him to the rope like they did the Bulldog. Speaking of which, Davey comes out for the save. Nope, this is NWO. Brian Adams lays him out.
Yeah, exactly. So you think he's going to save, and then he gets beaten down as well, and they look trouble now. Yeah, Brian Adams even knocks down the referee. I mean, come on now.
Scott Dick in him.
Yeah, and they're beating him up.
Until Bret Hart comes out quite slowly.
And he's waited about 5 minutes for the beatdown.
He takes out Kurt Hennig, Rick Rude, and Brian Adams.
Yeah, as the drink gets thrown in, Bulldog Neidhart down, so's the ref. That's not stopping Bret, though.
And Bret with the beat down in the corner, but Brian Adams picks Bret up, bear hug to him, but Bret manages to fight his way out of it. Kurt Hennig trying to get Bret, but he gets hit with an inverted atomic drop, bounced out to the outside.
Now Bret screams at Brian Adams, and I think Rude and Hennig trying to get the hell out of there. Jannetty, what he was doing, and Bret Hart, of course, the night after WrestleMania, and Bret is doing this angle. I mean, has he fallen down in that estimation at this moment in time?
Saving Jim the Anvil Neidhart and British Bulldog from a beatdown, I believe he has fallen a lot.
Stuck in a time loop, and he's got the microphone. So he said it last week, but it happens again this week. But he said it's going to be...
Because nobody likes to get screwed.
And he says he's going to tear him down brick by brick. And he's been saying it, but he's not actually done anything yet. And Bret says, Hogan, I'm coming for you. But at the moment, yeah, he's stuck in a bit of a time loop, to be fair. It's the TV title up next.
Yes, and it is a rematch from last week where they had a 10-minute draw.
Well, Tony says at Spring Stampede, it's Jericho versus Prince Iakea for the Cruiserweight title.
Yes, and it's back to this one, and a great chemistry between the two, but another 10-minute draw.
Yeah, and the closing sequence. So it's Booker T versus Chris Benoit. Booker with Spinneroonie and a sidekick, goes up for a drop kick. Benoit dodged and got on the crossface. Booker grabs the ropes in desperations. As both stood up, they traded blows until the bell rang. Boos rang from the crowd, and even Booker and Benoit still wanted to fight.
That was some bloody good storytelling there.
Girls next, yes.
Yes, and we get some NW... No, we don't really, I was only joking. It is Psychosis versus the Ultimo Dragon.
Yeah, well, WCW saved their proper in-ring talent for the last hour.
And it wasn't long, but it was enjoyable.
It's the story of my sex life. Well, a series of exchanges.
Dragon nearly slips.
Psychosis dim with a plancha load to the outside.
And the flock out to ruin it.
Well, the flock's out here because Lodi was injured. Psychosis.
But Lucha Japan see them off.
Yeah, and now we move on, and Ray Trader's coming out here. The former big boss man. We saw him send Scott Steiner into a swimming pool a couple of weeks ago. See what he's going to do tonight.
Well, there's not going to be a lot he's going to do because he is facing the most intense man in sports entertainment today, Bill Goldberg.
Here comes Goldberg. Oh, he's having the fireworks, isn't he, week by week? And the victories.
Is Ray Trader part of the NWO?
He was, but he was kicked out.
Ah.
So 66-0 is Bill Goldberg. Can Ray Trader cause him any trouble here tonight?
Can he be the one in 66-1?
The fans in love with Goldberg here in Chi-Town.
Yes, and Goldberg just outpowers Ray Trader, push him into the corner.
But another collar and elbow tie-up. Referee getting involved in the two.
The former Cobb County Correction Officer.
And Goldberg saying, bring it on. Both from Georgia. Cobb County, Georgia, like I say, boss man. And Goldberg, Atlanta, Georgia, is it?
Yeah. Goldberg with the knee to the midsection, Irish whip. Trailer looking to shoulder Goldberg down, but Goldberg just stands his ground.
But Trailer doesn't look intimidated by Goldberg.
He should. Goldberg faking the run to the ropes. Trailer just stands there and he gets taken out by a one-step clothesline.
Well, that's just sheer power by Goldberg. But Trailer...
Oh, Trailer going to the outside. Goldberg looking to follow him, but gets caught with a big right hand, and Trailer's coming in with the rights.
You got to think the amount of people that Trailer's beating down in those prison cells, all big tough men.
Goldberg goes for the leg takedown and just wails away at the big right hands. Irish whip first by Trailer, and a spine buster. But Goldberg bounces straight back up to his feet while Trailer's playing to the crowd, gets caught with a spear.
It is over and done.
Can he get this big man up for a jackhammer, though?
Big man.
Surely not.
Don't call me Shirley. Is Goldberg going to try? Over 300 pounds.
Well, James, he jacks him up and hammers him down.
Bang.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah, it's over and done. Well, he's pretty intense, isn't he? And the fans seem to like him a little bit.
And Saturn looking to come out to try and challenge Goldberg, but the rest of the flock realise that's not the most wisest move to take and hold him back.
He's got more guts than brains than Saturn. Michael Buffer out here for the 2 big main events now.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
So Sting and Lex Luger versus Kevin Nash, but who will be his tag team partner? It's the Macho Man. Oh my God.
Who would have thunk that?
Never saw it. So here comes Sting, carrying the title belt, finally actually carrying a world title belt, walking out here with Lex Luger, and look who it is!
It is Sting.
It's Macho Man.
It is Macho Man.
Oh no, not into the barricade. Well, Macho and Sting face off for the world title at Spring Stampede.
Oh, and a seated pile driver to Sting on the outside on them wafer thin mats.
How thin are those mats, Dan?
They are mere millimetre thick.
And Kevin Nash in the ring, big sexy, choking out Lex Luger. The world title to the back. Macho and Nash confirming at the cheer. And now Macho's legal.
Nash comes in, straddles the top rope, and Savage takes out Sting again.
Just beating him down, isn't he?
Yeah, Macho Man's doing a good job of keeping Sting quiet throughout this match.
Dropping Luger in ring and Macho doing the same to Sting. You got to wonder when the Macho and Hogan's problems then happened in the NWO. Was Nash annoyed with Hogan because he was so close to Macho?
You can read into this all you want, but no, there's a lot of factors, but I don't think a lot of what happens in the NWO makes sense.
What do you think? Or the storylines WWE don't matter compared to what happens on Raw then?
I don't know. It's a lot of these don't make sense, and I think if you're one of their big stars, then you can have 2 or 3 feuds going on at once, and it still, to them makes sense.
But this is the problem, isn't it? Where in the WWF, the top guy might have 1 or 2 feuds going, but the program's taken up by the rest of the feuds happening. Whereas at Nitro, they're one-off matches with the feuds happening for just the big superstars, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, Sting's not been able to get involved at all in this match. Macho's cut him off each time. And security, they're having problems around ringside.
And Nash is working over Luger in the ring. Savage is working over Sting on the outside. These guys would all be the new Wolfpack.
And now Macho's got a steel chair because referee's back's turned low. Right into the gut of Sting. Now Macho back elbow going for the cover on Luger.
Oh, but Luger managing to kick out. And now it's Nash's turn to work over Sting on the outside.
Well, that was obviously the game plan for both men, wasn't it? To not let Sting get involved at all in this.
And it's working so far for Nash.
But with all the storylines with Hogan, the NWO and his problems with Nash and Macho, the Sting has really taken a kind of back seat into all this, hasn't he? And he's a champion. You would think after it happened at Starrcade and them sorting it out, they would actually have a plan to go forward, WWE, but they keep focusing on the whole NWO thing. It annoys me just watching back at Luger now struggling to get up.
Jesus Christ, that phone. And Nash just choking out Luger. And Sting manages to get into the ring, throws Macho in.
Well, I don't think he cares anymore. He just wants to get hold of Macho. And I've got a feeling what's going to happen in a minute if both men, all 4 men keep brawling.
And 3 inverted atomic drops from Sting to Macho.
Luger sends Nash into the top turnbuckle.
Irish whip to Macho from Sting, but Sting gets caught with a big boot. Oh, and then a back body drop sends Macho over the top rope.
And now Nash got Luger.
Sting ducks the clothesline attempt from Nash. Hits Nash with his own.
Yep, Luger hits clothesline. Nash. Oh, why's Hogan out there for?
Hogan's trying to take Sting out.
Stinger splash there on Macho on the barricade.
Luger's got Nash up for the torture rack.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
And it's a Disciple in.
Hogan said he wouldn't have any NWO members helping him out, but Disciple's here. And the Disciple stunner. Referee's not seen it, so he's not blown the bell. He's not... Oh, the match's still happening, yeah. Drinks thrown in. Cover 3 there. My God. Wow, rubbish getting thrown in at this moment in time. I mean, oh, there's Piper. There's Piper going after
Hogan.
He's got the belt, and he's going straight after Hogan. I mean, that match is next, I think. Oh, my God, and now the Disciple beating down Roddy Piper. Now Hogan's got the belt round Piper, and they're going to the back. So this is a replay here. So, I mean, they might be friends after all. Now look at the drink coming in. Right into his belly button. NWO music again. Hogan. He's going to make a normal entrance now. Commentators don't know what's going on. Nothing new there. Oh, here we go. They come back now.
And they're fighting their way back to the ring. Piper and Hogan. Hogan and Piper.
My God, through the stage. They've been all the way through the backstage. And they're coming out the front. And there's still ramp. And there's real hatred here.
I do really, really hope that there is interference in this match.
Well, as you say, that Disciple's already there. So this is what's happening at the moment.
And a meeting of the minds from Hogan and the Disciple.
If we just compare the two, you know, we had in the main event of Raw, you had the Outlaws, a young team going against Cactus and Funk. Yeah, Funk you could call a veteran. With DX coming down, the new and improved DX. And then over on Nitro, we've got the guys from the 80s, Brutus the Barber Beefcake, Roddy Piper, Hulk Hogan, you know. We consider we've been seeing this for like 10 years now.
Another 10 won't hurt.
Well, let's see how well it does in the rating as Piper throws it both in.
Piper's all fired up, ready to go.
And he's ripped. Of course, he beat Hogan at Starrcade 96.
He's here to chew some gum and kick some ass, and he's fresh out of gum.
He just spits at Hogan and he wants to get it on. And the Battle of the Icons. Hogan rocking Piper.
And Piper's telling him to bring it. Piper returns with some big rights of his own. And this is just a big slugfest between these two guys.
Yeah, but it's not like the crowd's on their feet, is it? You know what I mean? They're not like they're up.
Oh, the referees.
Go on, Dan.
The referees react when Piper pokes Hogan in the eyes. I don't know, just like he's just sucked on a lemon.
That's Nick Patrick for you as Piper sends Hogan into the stairs. But the fans not really into this, you know. They're not like edge of the seat stuff, you know. Yeah, they are standing, but just because of the... I think it's just the way it is.
Hogan on his mercy, Piper telling him to get up. Hogan offers the hand, but Piper just bites the hand that's trying to feed him.
Piper now with a combination on Hogan. Gonna work, rights and lefts. And Hogan is down. Claps to Hogan's ears and the Hogan sucks chance.
Big right hand from Piper. Oh, and just as the referee looks away, conveniently, Hogan delivers a low blow to Piper. Piper's back up, and Nick Patrick looks away as if I didn't see anything. Well, it's 1-0.
Yeah, blow each. And who's going to get the lower hand in a minute? And now they're both on their knees, exchanging blows.
Oh, Piper goes for the throat. Hogan goes for the rake of the eyes.
And Hogan mounting Piper, choking him out. Now look at Hogan beating down Piper, choking him in the corner.
But Piper, ever defiant, refusing to stay down. A couple of rakes to the back from Hogan.
And Piper's telling Hogan, here's what I want you to do. They sweat on each of these men.
Oh, and the Disciple trips Piper, drags him out of the ring.
Well, I guess anything goes because the referee's kind of letting everything happen. You didn't see Disciple pull him out, yeah? All right.
And a punch to the throat from Hogan to Piper. Piper's got the sleeper locked in.
He's put many to sleep with this.
Referee saying ring the bell. He gets thrown out. A jawbreaker from the Disciple.
Then now Hogan say finish him, and now the rubbish comes in the ring.
The rubbish is already in the ring.
And where's Piper's tag team partner?
Oh,
wait a minute, it's Kevin Nash. What's Big Sexy doing out here?
Well, he wants to thank Hogan for his assistance earlier, obviously.
Yeah. Look at all this shit that's coming in.
Saying, do you mind if I have a go on Piper?
Oh, this is terrible. Nash has got Piper. Oh!
Piper ducks. Hogan hits Nash accidentally.
And now Nash is not happy about that. Straps are down.
And the Giant's out with his strap down as well.
So they both mean business. Nash pushes Hogan.
Disciples trying to calm the situation.
Here comes the Giant.
And everyone scatters.
Well, they gather and the Giant checking on Piper. Wow, so we're live from Miami next week, but that's it for now. And that's the night after WrestleMania. So we had Raw with what we saw there. We watched it as live. And, of course, just Nitro where we saw all of it and caught up through the highlights. So let's run through the ratings first for that. So, of course, with Raw, we got a 3.8 rating. What did Nitro get on this night?
Nitro got a staggering 4.2.
4.2. So, kind of easily beat Monday Night Raw. Raw is War, which is interesting when you consider about both shows because we got a 5-point system now. We're going to run through, so we award 5 points each of them, apart from the rating, which is out of 10. Calculate an overall, which should be out of 30. All right? That makes sense, everybody? So, roster first and foremost, Dan, for this episode of not who won it for the month, but just who won the episode for you. The roster between Raw and Nitro. We'll talk about both of them and award scores for each as well, I think, at the same time.
Well, with the roster for Raw, I'd say they've got a bit of a resurgence. It's still a similar roster to what they've got, but the characters are starting to shine through. The likes of The Rock, the likes of Austin, even Triple H taking his place at the mantle at the top of DX. So I'm going to give that 3.5.
So you're giving Raw for roster 3.5, yeah?
Yes.
All right, cool. I feel when it comes to roster size and everything that we look at, out of the two, I mean, WWE's just still got such a huge roster that we saw. You know, you talk about Hogan and Piper, the Giant, Kevin Nash, Macho Man, the whole of the NWO, and then other people like Benoit, Booker T, Raven, DDP. I think the roster is stacked, and with Raw, yes, it's good. It's not as big as Nitro's, but it's still improving for me. So I say I'll give Raw a 3.5 out of 5 as well. But I think for Nitro, I would give it a 4 out of 5. I think would be fair.
Again, with Nitro, it's I don't know, because I'd rather see quality over quantity. Nitro could easily reduce their roster by about 25-30% and still produce some better quality matches. It's like, you know, about 50% of the NWO, they're useless, and they're worse than useless. I'm going to stay with 3.5 for that, I think, because, you know, despite having the numbers, I don't think it's any better.
One thing I do think is better, and I don't know if you're going to agree with me or not, but the setting still. I think Nitro still looks cleaner, still looks better. I think the arenas look more impressive. The camera work, the fireworks that we get, you know, when every wrestler comes out as well. I think setting alone, I think that for me beats out Raw. So Raw still needs a lot of work. So I'm going to give for the setting 3 out of 5 for Raw. I'm going to give it 4 out of 5 for Nitro.
I'll go similar. I think, 3 out of 5 for Raw, because it's still got a lot of work to improve. I think the pay-per-views are slightly better.
Yeah.
But for the normal Raws, I'll stick with a 3 out of 5. And for Nitro, I don't know. I'm not a fan of the clear barricade, so I'm going to get that 3.5 out of 5.
That's fair enough. Yeah, and you talk about setting. What about the promos? What about what we've seen from each of the guys? And what do you think about the kind of promo videos as well that we've got?
Again, with the promo videos for Raw, I think with Raw they're with more purpose. Like we saw the opening statement on Raw with the Austin and McMahon thing, changing over the belts. Austin didn't want to muck about with Vince McMahon. He just took his belt, dropped the old one at his feet, went to all 4 corners with his new belt, and, you know, Vince McMahon is saying you can either do it the easy way or the hard way. Austin, ever defiant, doing it the hard way.
Yeah.
And with the Triple H thing sound taking over DX, I think that was great as well. So I'm going to give that a 4 out of 5.
Yeah,
sorry.
No, I was going to say, sorry to interrupt, but before you give me Nitro, I was going to say I just completely agree with you when it comes to WF. I gave it the same rate, 4 out of 5. What do you think for Nitro?
For Nitro, there's a lot of moments of inspiration, like with Chris Jericho coming out and, you know, just his brilliance with his list of Jericho. But again, there's also the downside of it with the constant same NWO warble and waffling. So I'm going to give that a 3.5 out of 5.
Completely agree. I couldn't agree, but I think we just take one category each because 3.5. All right, matches. I'll go for this one. I don't think the matches on either have been great. Well, I should rephrase that. The main event matches on Nitro are shit. Right? They're awful. They're the longest 10 minutes of that Piper. I think the matches on Raw, we don't get proper matches just yet. There's no real kind of main event. Even that steel cage match, even the interference and stuff, that wasn't the kind of proper match at a pay-per-view that we do see. But I think with WCW, they try that. But that kind of Benoit and Booker T things that we've seen, like the 10-minute draw, it was technically it was perfect, you know.
Yeah.
And Juve and Ultimo Dragon and all these other guys that we saw, you know, Raven, the DDP, the kind of matches and the kind of not interference, the interaction between the two. I think the matches have been great. I think the matches have been better on Nitro than they have Raw. But I'm still not going to be too harsh with my ratings. Any thoughts on matches before I give them?
Again, the matches on Raw, they wasn't the greatest of matches. We saw a few interesting. They was all storyline based matches. Whereas on Nitro, if it's an NWO match and the NWO start getting beaten up, then the interference comes. Which I'm starting to find that annoying. But then you do get the highlights of having the Benoit Booker T match, which was just a great match, and it's telling a brilliant story without any outside interference. But then you get the likes of, you know, what you would have thought Sting and Lex Luger going against Macho Man and Nash. It had the potential of being a good match, but then that just broke down as well. Mm-hmm. So it's, you know, everything's just mishmash.
Yeah, I think this is difficult to call because the matches on Raw, I'm going to give 3 out of 5. I just think just needs more work to be done with them. And with Nitro, it would have been a 4 out of 5 if it wasn't for the NWO shit that we had.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give 3 to Raw and 3.5 to Nitro.
Well, I'm going to give a 2.5 to Raw because aside from the storyline setting of it, the matches were terrible. Apart from the LOD looking strong, but then, you know, you can counter that with, on Nitro, Goldberg looking strong.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm going to give that a 3 out of 5.
Okay, so ratings now on each show. So at the moment, we've given our 5-point system, the 5 points allotted to roster, promo, set and matches. But now the rating of the show. Now, I got to say, between the two, I enjoyed Raw a whole lot more than Nitro. I think with Raw, because it's only 2 hours, you can still have a kind of like he's talking about a storyline kind of episode where the Austin thing was running through it, and plus once the Austin thing, when he kind of got arrested and whatnot, then the Triple H DX thing took over, and that kind of ended the show as well. So I like the narrative, if you would, of the episode. So I think Raw was a lot more enjoyable. I think 3 hours of Nitro is too much, and some of it doesn't make sense, and there's a lot of focus on the NWO stuff. So I'm going to give Raw an out of 10 for its episode here today. What were your thoughts on Raw?
Again, I'll have to agree with you. Raw, it was a lot better at the storytelling. It's not trying to cram too much into our FaceTimes at once. You've got the Austin aspect. He gets arrested, so you know he's not going to be around too much later on in the show. Then you've got the resurgence of the LOD. And, you know, it goes through with the Triple H side of things. And then you get the Nation. You know, it's kind of like a place of new mantles, something that the Raw after Mania should be.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
You've got, you know, the resurgence of teams, or you've got the cleaning up of teams. And for Nitro, I think it's just dragging on too long. It's the same old story. There's problems in the NWO. Raven, what about me? Trying to, you know, stomp on other people's dreams. You've got to Sting finally coming out of his championship belt. I think that was about the cleaners trying to clean the NWO black off. And it's, you know, it just seems very too samey. They need a definite end to feuds, like, you know, a Starcade, as you will.
Yeah.
To try and finish the year off and then tie it up, and then after that, it starts afresh.
Yeah, the plan in the end, look, if Goldberg is that successful there, it's common sense, like it did with Steve Austin, with Goldberg to wait until Starcade till he finally has his moment there and he takes it forward, like I said, to the new millennium. With the NWO thing, the thing I don't understand is there was no need for the NWO to stay together. They could have broke up, and as Hulk Hogan and Kevin Nash themselves feuded with each other, and not caused all this problem with all these different NWO aspects that we're going to see and that we have seen for so long. You know, the NWO name, because it brought success to WCW, means they have to keep relying on it. And WWF now have realised, look, we have to make some stars. You know, we've lost so many. Even Michaels and Brett, who were the guys for the past couple of years, have gone now. We need to look towards the Triple H's, to the Rocks, and to the Steve Austins, and even the Kanes to that aspect, to kind of bring it forward. And it's like a really exciting time, but I still feel like, you know, Nitro is still slightly ahead at some points, even though the story's better than Raw. But what's your rating for Raw out of 10, Dan?
My rating for Raw out of 10, storytelling and the changes and the way they're adapting to survive, I'm going to give that an 8 out of 10.
And your Nitro?
And my Nitro, because it is the same old, I know, you know, you've got to have the continuity of Goldberg winning and Jericho just coming out of his awesomeness. They normally throw a few good matches in there, but I don't know, I wasn't really impressed with many of them tonight. So I'm going to give that a 7 out of 10.
So, yes, that is it. We nearly agreed on anything. I'll tell you what I'm going to do, something a little bit different now as well. First off, we're going to announce the individual scores for Raw and Nitro. Then what we're going to do to find a definitive winner, we'll add our main scores together, right? Make it even more confusing. And then the one that's got the top rating out of that. So it means both our scores combined. Because I've got to work out the scores now. It's at mine, but Dan, I need to work out yours. So please, can I have some working out scores music? Hang on, right. I've worked out Raw. I need some more music to just work out Nitro for a second.
Hit me with
right,
your
okay, so what we're going to do after is, once we've got the overall scores, we'll add them both up, see what won. But what I've just seen now is incredible. So Monday Night Raw, Dan, you and I, like I say, roster 3.5 each, promo 4 out of 5 each, setting 3 out of 5 each, matches, you 2.5, I was 3 out of 5, rating both 8 out of 10 for Raw, so staggeringly close. You scored Raw 21 out of 30, yeah. I scored mine 21.5 out of 30, right?
Half separates us.
So 21 and 21.5. So let's go to your Raw. Let's go to your Nitro, sorry. So your Raw was 21 points, right? So we're going to have to work out which of your shows you thought was best. So your roster was 3.5. Your promo was 3.5. Your setting was 3.5. Your matches were 3 out of 5. And your rating 7 out of 10. So you scored Raw 21. You scored Nitro 20.5. So half off. Raw 1 for you there. For me, 21.5 was for Raw. So 21.5 was Raw. 4 out of 5 roster for Nitro. Promo 3.5. 4 out of 5 setting. Matches 3.5. Rating 7 out of 10. So half. I scored Nitro 22 out of 30. So I won by a half a point. So you picked Raw by a half a point. Yeah. I picked Nitro by half a point. Wow. So we're going to add up both numbers now and see. So
they're going to be exact.
What more? Yeah, well, hang on a minute. Let's work it out now. So scores combined.
So I told you it's exact, didn't I?
It's a draw. Right, so how are we going to work this out then? What is the true winner? I mean, Mean Gene Okerlund, Bobby Heenan on commentary.
Mean Gene Okerlund wins it.
Alright, so we award it to Nitro this episode, even though it was a great...
Mean Gene.
Even though it was a great episode of Monday Night Raw, and this is what we're going to be doing. That's what we're going to do on the next episode, the WNR154. We'll have it in 2 parts. 155. We'll have it in 2 parts. It will be the whole month plus WCW Spring Stampede pay-per-view, and we'll do the ratings for everything like that as well. But final thoughts on these 2 episodes, Dan?
Raw is definitely starting to show signs. I'd like an end to the boring NWO feud from inside the NWO. And... yeah, you know, I'd like to see Sting in a bit better as well.
Yeah, they're kind of pissed all over the top, haven't they, really? Yeah. So that is it. We are back next week, like I say, WNR155. WWE versus WCW for April. But until then, you can follow us on Twitter at WWE Network Review or
at Vince McDan, WWE.
I'm at J_Rowlands. Follow us across all Google platforms. Oh, I never said that one. You can follow us across all the Google platforms. WWE Network Review on Google Plus, and send us an email to WNRpodcast@gmail.com. We're also on Facebook.
Yes, Facebook. Come and find our page and give us a like with the WWE Network Review podcast, or you can come and find me and add me as a friend. I am Vince McDan.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel, WWE Network Review Podcast, where we've got clips going up there. Podcasts go at the same time to do other places like SoundCloud.
On your phone.
Also, don't forget to follow Diddley, our music maker here on the WNR podcast. We're also on Spreaker Radio, where we've got a live show. We've got NXT in Chicago coming up in June. Stitcher Radio and iTunes, where you can download, subscribe, rate and review there. But that is it. Like I say, next episode, WNR145, more WWE.
155.
For fuck's sake. 155, more WWE versus WCW. But until then, I have been James Rowlands, and correcting me has always been
Dan White.
Thanks for listening, everybody, and hello. Goodbye.
Bye.